And India's investigative agencies have seized and returned more than half of the money to banks which was lost in high-profile embezzlement cases in the last few years. The agency specializing in investigating financial crimes, the Enforcement Directorate, has seized these assets and returned them to state-run banks and the government. India has been seeking the extradition of fugitives Vijay Mallya and Nirav Modi from the UK to face trial in India, who have fled India. The ED also said that it has unearthed a money trail of domestic and international transactions running into billions of dollars. The investigation revealed that 3 accused used dummy entities for rotation and siphoning off funds provided by these banks. The total amount defrauded by Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi and Mehul Choksi is around $3 billion, out of which properties worth $2.5 billion have been attached by the ED, representing about 80% of the total loss for banks out of total assets worth $1.2 billion, representing 40% of the total loss to the banks, have been handed over to the public sector banks. Now, earlier this week, the Debt Recovery Tribunal sold shares worth over $1 billion of United Breweries that were earlier attached by the agency, resulting into recovery from fugitive businessman Vijay Mallya, who didn't pay banks. Government and employees of the now defunct Kingfisher Airlines, which he founded in 2005 and shut down 7 years later. After fleeing India, Mallya was arrested in London in April 2017, where he is contesting extradition in India through a trial in the UK. Apart from Mallya, the ED has also seized assets under the Money Laundering Act from 2 other former billionaires, Nirav Modi and Mehul Choksi, who were accused in a $2 billion Punjab National Bank loan fraud case. Both diamond merchants also fled the country in the first week of January 2018, just before the multi-billion-dollar PNB scam rocked the banking industry in India. Nirav Modi and Mehul Choksi were accused of bribing officials to get letters of undertaking from state-run banks on the basis of which they avail loans from overseas banks.
The last 4 years, I have seen is totally unusual.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.